South of Midnight is a game I've been excited to play ever since I first saw its trailer in the Xbox Developer Direct Showcase earlier this year. While that developer showcase also showed off amazing games like Expedition 33, Doom: The Dark Ages, and Ninja Gaiden 4, South of Midnight struck me with its captivating trailer, showing off its unique setting and hints of a story that would just absolutely tug at the heartstrings. Besides, as soon as I heard that giant catfish talking in a Cajun accent, I knew this game was going to be special.
You up here?
Where?
My salvation.
A talking fish? Nope. Ain't no way.
In this game, you play as Hazel, a former high school track star who lives with her mom, Lacey, in an area that resembles the US Delta. The game begins with an imminent hurricane, and you, as Hazel, have to walk around your home, packing up items to get out before the hurricane hits. Walking around the home and inspecting items helps flesh out the backstory as Hazel reminisces and gives tidbits about everything you inspect. You'll learn about Hazel's athletic achievements, her late father, Crouton, the most adorable hodgepodge stuffed animal voodoo doll looking thing you've ever seen, and her mother, who you're worried about because she's not home yet. After you've inspected what you need to, your mom, Lacey, finally arrives. During the conversation with her, you get the sense of a rift between them, as Hazel voices concern about how her mom doesn't open up to her and seems to go out of her way to help everybody but her.
Besides, you are young and spry, my little track star.
After this conversation, and while your mom is still packing, she asks you to go check on your neighbors to see if they need any last-minute help.
Go over to Bo's and Mrs. Pearl's. Check on them. They may need help.
Outside, you'll meet Bo, a typical country-fried southern dude who, in the face of disaster, cranks up his music, cracks open a couple of beers, and faces the storm head-on without a care in the world.
Yep, ain't no storm got me yet. And if things go south, I got my boat. You sure you don't want some punch?
I've gotta go check on Mrs. Pearl.
You'll also meet Pearl, an elderly woman who just wants to make sure you're taken care of before dealing with the storms.
What you doing on my porch in all of this weather, babe? Come in, have some gizzards. I'm cooking them all before the power goes out.
After you've talked to your neighbors and make sure they don't need anything last minute, you head back to your home so you can leave with your mom. Well, you would, except the storm has other plans. Now at this point, the game begins to open up as you have to chase your home with your mother in it downstream. After getting you acquainted with the platforming elements in a really natural way, you reach the trailer just a moment too late, setting up the game's major theme: loss. Without spoiling any of the story, shortly after this, you learn that you're a weaver, someone who can see spiritual threads that, with your new weaving hooks, you can manipulate to help you progress in the game, usually by helping others through some sort of tragedy that they just can't get past.
Okay. So what do I have to do to help Benji so I can get you down, so I can save my mama?
Use that pattern to fix that big old tangle. You'll need to reweave Benji too. But first things first, go fix that tangle.
The gameplay is broken down into two main parts: exploration and combat. This is a fairly linear game. During the exploration sections, you'll be running around, looking for items, and doing some light platforming to get you from point A to point B. You start off only being able to run and jump, but as you progress, you get different abilities that open up the exploration quite a bit. And because this is a game that exists in a post-Breath of the Wild world, you have an obligatory glider to help you get from place to place.
Do you guys know the way to the witch's nose?
But my favorite move, which you can use in both exploration and combat, is this brief little dash. Double jumping across gaps and hitting that dash button allows you to boost forward while spiraling through the air. It's almost as satisfying as glide jumping in Warframe. I mentioned earlier that this game is linear. If, for some reason, you ever get lost, you can hit a button that will make threads appear that will show you the correct path. However, it's usually worth exploring a bit because the game rewards you for going off the beaten path. And that brings us to the second main part, the combat. Combat is totally separate from the exploration. When you get to an area where you have to fight these creatures shaped from bad energy in the weaves, the area itself closes off, creating a small arena for you to fight in. If you've ever played it, it reminds me of Okami's battle system. You use your hooks as melee weapons that allow you to do some really cool combos on the enemies. The combat system isn't as complex as other games with parrying or blocking systems and things like that, but you do stun enemies if you dodge at the perfect moment, allowing you to get in a few good hits without the fear of retaliation. Every downed enemy leaves a tangled thread that you need to unweave so the enemy can't resurrect. This also gives you a tiny bit of health, and for some reason is extremely satisfying. I never got tired of ripping the tangles. Every enemy's attack has a tell for you to learn. I had difficulty initially because it's been quite a while since I've played anything like this. But once it clicked, I felt like a force to be reckoned with. One complaint I've heard about this game is that some people think that the combat is repetitive. Not me. I play survival crafting games.
Fight it. Must chop wood!
But to keep it from being too repetitive, this game does a good job of slowly introducing new enemy types, causing you to have to change up your strategies on the fly. You'll be fighting new enemies almost all the way to the end of the game. The boss fights also do a really good job of changing it up a bit, and they have some of the best music in the game as well. Quite possibly the highlight of the game for me is the music. It embraces its Deep South Delta setting by giving you a dynamic blues and jazz soundtrack. I got chills the first time the vocals kicked in.
He was my brother, Benji his name. He saw things different. He was my shame.
It was an emotional moment in the game already, but then the music suddenly had lyrics that went along with the story points that were happening around me. Oh man, it was so good.
Hell, the locals got angry, left traps out for him.
While I thoroughly enjoyed this game, its reception has been kind of a mixed bag. I spoke to one guy about it and he said that it wasn't anything special, just a PS2 game with a fresh coat of paint.
Tell me something.
In that same vein though, while my wife was watching me play one evening, she said, "It's really cool that this is like an old school style adventure game. It reminds me of something I played growing up." So it's really interesting to see people like it and dislike it for the same reason. But in saying that, if you're interested in a linear action game with a unique setting, amazing music, interesting characters, fun but mildly repetitive combat, and great writing, then you definitely need to check this one out. It's a game you can complete in about 10 to 15 hours depending on what difficulty you select, and if you're looking for every single collectible or not.
With you, Jolie?
It's a good time. In a world where developers are raising prices and asking $80 to $90 for updated versions of games you already have, looking at you, Nintendo. South of Midnight is only $40 for the game, or $50 for the deluxe version with a behind-the-scenes footage, soundtrack, and digital art book. It's also on Game Pass. Being set in the Deep South, it was also really cool to see and hear things that I've heard about and seen growing up here.
Local honey.
I've never heard anyone outside of my mom and grandma call spirits haints until now. And now I have backstory for bottle trees that I've seen in people's yards. Heck, my mom even knew what a rougarou was. I thought it was really cool that this game allowed me to have those kind of experiences and conversations. Maybe it'll spark something for you if you check it out. Rating games is something I haven't really done on this channel yet, but if I had to give it a score, it would be a solid 8 out of 10.
Here when Hanks ain't trying to get me.
Have you played South of Midnight yet? What did you think? Let me know in the comments. And if you liked this video, please like, subscribe, and check out the BoredTimeThings link tree in the description below to keep up with all the updates, memes, and anything else that may be going on. While you're there, check out the Mississippi Gamer Society shop to support an awesome group dedicated to maintaining a fun and safe environment for gamers in Mississippi. We'll catch you in the next video.